Welcome again to the Purposes of God. I'm your host, Doug Krieger of the Tribulation Network. This is video number 25 in our special prophetic series on the purposes of God. And we're very pleased that you're with us for this listening and viewing. Again, you have an option to turn me off and just look at the slides and or view them with my voice, if you would, okay? Again, video 25 will be discussing, this is part 3 of the millenarian fourth temple of Ezekiel, chapter 40s through 48. This is a picture of the holy district as described of the millenarian kingdom in Ezekiel. Areas for the priests, the sanctuary of the Lord, the Levites, the prince, the workers, and the city known as Jehovah Shammah, Ezekiel 45:6, and so forth. All the tribes of Israel are mentioned, including the tribe of Dan. Take a look at the measurements. They're all in the sacred cubit. 25,000 by 25,000 cubits is the holy district. The prince occupies the area on either side of the holy district. There are 3 major areas of the holy district: the area for the priests, the area for the Levites, and the city, with on either side the areas for urban homesteading for worker produce. The dimensions of the holy district overall are 25,000 cubits by 25,000 cubits. It is 4 square. For the area of the priests, it is 25,000 cubits by 10,000. The sanctuary of the Lord within the area of the priests is 500 cubits by 500 cubits. The area of the Levites is akin to that of the priests. It is 25,000 cubits by 10,000 cubits. The area for the whole house of Israel, the third area, is 25,000 cubits by 5,000 cubits. The city within that area is known as the Lord is there, Jehovah Shammah, has a perimeter of 18,000 cubits, with each of its sides being 4,500 cubits. It too is 4 square. When added together, 4,500 on each side times 4, you will have 18,000 linear cubits. A common land area on either side, if you would, of the city is the area that surrounds the city and is 250 cubits around all sides. The urban homesteading for the work produce area is 10,000 by 5,000 on either side of the city. 2 areas on either side of the city area and its common area, which is 10,000 by 5,000 cubits. Keep these numbers in mind. We will explain later on their prophetical significance. Again, looking at the measurements of the holy district. In the visions of God, he took me into the land of Israel and set me on a very high mountain. On it toward the south was something like the structure of a city. Ezekiel 40 and verse 2. Son of man, look with your eyes and hear with your ears and fix, literally, set your heart on everything I show you. Declare to the house of Israel everything you see. Ezekiel 40 verse 4. Ezekiel saw, in essence, a city, and set his heart as he heard and saw in order to declare it to the house of Israel. And yet it was a holy district. It was 25,000 cubits by 25,000 cubits. Or, if you would, 25,000 cubits times 4 equals 100,000 linear cubits, the perimeter of the entire holy district. Times 25.20, 1 sacred cubit, would make it 2,520,000 linear inches, the perimeter of the holy district, or if you would, 25.20, the sacred cubit fractal itself, of course. Here again is the holy district, the city known as the Lord is there, Jehovah Shammah, is 5,000 cubits by 5,000 cubits, or 4 sides. That is 20,000 in its perimeter, times 3 if we cubed it, having 12 edges, would equal 60,000 linear cubits, times 2520, the sacred cubit measurement, would give us 1,512,000 linear inches in the city area. Divided by 12 inches, or 1 foot, would equal 126,000 linear feet, which would equal 1,260, its fractal, times 2 would equal 2,520, or the 25.20 sacred cubit itself. The city core, if you would, is 4,500 cubits by 4,500 cubits, or 4 times 4,500 cubits, since it is 4 square, will equal 18,000 linear cubits. This relates as a fractal to the 18,000 furlongs of the New Jerusalem. That is 1,500 miles times 12 edges cubed will equal 18,000 miles. The sanctuary, that is, in the sanctuary of the Lord area of the priests, is 500 cubits plus 500 cubits. It is equal to 1,000 cubits times 2, since it also is 4 square, is equal to 2,000 cubits times the 25.20 sacred cubit would equal 5,040, divided by 2 is equal to 2,520, or the fractal 25.20 sacred inch cubit. Let's take a look at the workers' homesteading and produce areas, for that's what it's called. 2 exact areas on either side of the city, 5,000 cubits by 25,000 cubits, will equal 30 linear cubits, times 2 will equal 60,000, that is 4 sides, times 25.20 cubits will equal 1,512,000 linear cubits, divided by 12 inches will equal 126,000 feet, times 2, both sides of the city for urban homesteading, will equal to 252,000, or again 25.20 fractal, which is the measurement of the sacred cubit. Here is Clarence Larkin's vision of the pyramidal New Jerusalem. The measurement of the city in Ezekiel's vision, that is 4,500 cubits by 4, will equal 18,000 linear cubits. Divided by 3 will equal 6,000, or God's work on humankind, the pinnacle of his creation. The New Jerusalem is 1,512,000 linear inches of a cubed city. The Lord is there, divided by 24, that is the 24 elders of the New Jerusalem, will equal to 63,000, times 4, that is the living creatures, will equal to 252,000, which equals our fractal of 25.20, the sacred cubit. The vision of the city is akin to the vision of John in the Revelation. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God. Revelation 21:2. Jerusalem, the New Jerusalem alignment, the measurement of Ezekiel's city are integrated with the sacred cubit of the New Jerusalem in Revelation. 12,000 furlongs, 1 furlong equaling 660 linear feet equals 1 furlong, is equal to 12,000 times 660 feet, is equal to 7,920,000 feet, divided by a mile, that is 5,280 feet, a statute mile, based on the sacred cubit, will equal 1,500 miles on one of its sides, times 12, because it's a 12-sided cube, 12 each 1,500 mile edges, will equal 18,000 linear miles, akin to the 18,000 of Ezekiel's city. The Holy District, Great Pyramid, and the New Jerusalem. The reflection of the New Jerusalem's 144,000, or the 144 cubit wall, is seen in Ezekiel's sanctuary and city itself. The Holy District perimeter, that is 25,000 its length and 25,000 its width, or its entire perimeter of 100,000 linear cubits, is a four-sided perimeter which can be squared. Times its linear cubits, you're going to get 3 times 4 equals 12-sided if cubed, or 300,000 linear cubits times 25.20 will equal 7,560,000 inches times 24, or 12 plus 12 equals the 12 patriarchs and the 12 apostles of the Lamb, will equal to, are you ready for this? 7,200,000,000, which we do need to divide that by 144, the wall of the New Jerusalem, would give us a fractal of 50 million, or a fractal of 50,000, which is the Holy District's width and length, 25,000 by 25,000, as found in Ezekiel 45, 1 through 6. Now, 1,512,000 times 2 is equal to 3,024,000, or 3,024, as a fractal of the perimeter of the Great Pyramid in Giza in feet, times 12 inches will equal 36,288 inches, divided by the sacred cubit of 2520 will equal 144, or the people's areas for homesteading are 12 by 12, Israel and the church, equal to 144 times 1,000, which equals 144,000. I know these numbers may sound incredibly confusing, but they repeat themselves over and over and over again when you see the measurements of the Great Pyramid and of Ezekiel's temple measurements and of the measurements of the New Jerusalem. This is our final slide of video number 25 in this special series. And this is on the measurements of the Holy District. This is our third slide within this particular video series here. The Great Pyramid alignment with the measurements of the Holy District's city are seen in elevation. The city's 4 sides are equal to 60,000 linear cubits. That is 5,000 wide and 25,000 long, are equal to 30,000, times 2 is equal to 60,000, times the measurement of the sacred cubit of 25.20 inches is equal to 1,512,000. The 1,512 fractal times pi is equal to 481 feet, the height of the Great Pyramid, or 1,512 divided by 2 is equal to 756. That is, one side of the Great Pyramid. 2 times 1,512 feet is equal to 3,024 feet. That is the perimeter of the Great Pyramid, times 12 inches will give us 36,288 inches. Divided again by the sacred cubit of 2520 will equal 1,440. Compare this to the New Jerusalem's 144, or the 144,000 found in Revelation chapters 7 and 14. Israel's exodus from Egypt and the Great Pyramid took place in 1440 BC. This ties the New Jerusalem, the Holy District, and the sanctuary all together. Thank you again for your viewing and listening. This concludes video number 25 in our special series, and now we're moving on to video number 26. I have been your host, Doug Krieger of the Tribulation Network. Thank you again.